Hey, also in this video we're looking at multiplication of polynomials. So we'll look at some distribute problems, and then we'll figure out what FOIL is. Probably you have some vague memories of that. And then we'll figure out how to do them when FOIL doesn't actually work anymore. So starting with the distribute. So this is just like we did in chapter 1. When we got something out front, the parentheses, it means it's multiplying, and it's going to multiply everything inside the parentheses. So let's just go 2 times 3 for 6, and then x squared would give us x to the 4th. 2 times 4, negative 8, x squared and x cubed. I'm adding those exponents. Or you can just think of 1, 2, 3 x's, x cubed. And 2 times 8 for negative 16 and x squared. Same idea here, just a little bit more complicated. So I'm just going to bring this to all 3. So 4 times 3 for 12, x squared, x cubed, x5, and then 2 and 1 for y cubed, 4 times 6, negative 24, and then 2 and 1 for x cubed, and 2 and 2 for y to the 4th, and then 4 times 7, 28, 2, nothing here on the x's, so just x squared, y squared and cubed for y to the 5th. And these two are ones I would have you guys try. When there's a negative out front, rather than kind of overthinking the signs, I just think it's going to change all of these. So this is going to go negative, positive, positive. And then I'm not kind of flipping the signs back and forth in my head. So here we got negative 3x to the 4th. That's going to become positive. And then 3 times 7 for 21. 2 and 1 for x cubed. And then here, positive. And 3x squared. A good thing to do is to look at the powers. When you're multiplying something in where it's in descending order already, your exponent should also be in descending order. They should just be whatever power bigger. So this had x to the 0, this was x to the 1, and x squared. So, 2 and then 3 is to 1, and 4 is to 2. But if you notice where like you're doing this and you end up with x to the 4th, x squared, if this is in descending order, that couldn't have happened. And so it's just going to maybe let you catch some errors. Not so much on this one, but it works pretty good over here. So here we just 2 times negative 3, negative 6, 3 and 3 for x to the 6th, and then 2 and 1 there for y cubed. And then times 4, so that's going to be 8, 3 and 1, x to the 4th, 2 and 2, also y to the 4th. And then 2 times 9 will be 18, and x cubed, and then 2 and 3 for y to the 5th. Okay, so these next ones are the FOIL problems. If you remember the FOIL from high school, it stood for first, outer, inner, last. And so first, we multiply the first 2 terms together. O for outer or outside, we multiply the outside terms together. I for inside or inner, and these are the inner 2 terms. And L is for last, so then last we do the last 2 terms. I don't love this because as soon as we get to something that isn't 2 things by 2 things, it's not FOIL anymore. It doesn't spell FOIL, and people don't know what to do. So my preference is to think of it as 2 distributes. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of not looking at the 5 for a second, and I'm just going to run this x to both things, which is our first and our outside. But I'm just thinking distribute. And then our inside last, and then I'm covering up the x in my head, and I'm just going, so there's my inside, there's my last. So just distribute the first one, and then distribute the second one. It's the same thing as FOIL. I just think it's less confusing. So we'll go x times x for x squared, x times 3 for 3x. And then same thing with the 5. So 5 to the x will give us 5x, and then 5 goes to the 3, and that'll give us 15. And the only thing left to do then is just collect our like terms. So x squared plus 8x plus 15. This one, same basic idea, it just has different powers. So 4 times the invisible 1 right there will be 4, and then x cubed and x squared will give us x to the 5th. 4x cubed times the negative 5 for negative, 20. We'll just do that. Negative 20x cubed, and then 3 times the x squared, and then 3 times the negative 5. So this one, I really should have done number 8 first, but I guess we'll just do it in this order. So now we have, instead of 2 of these, we have 3 of these. And so what we're going to do is multiply just 2 of them together and then multiply the third one into it. So it's very much like if you're going, 2 times 3 times 4, you'd go 2 times 3 and make that 6 in your head, and then go 6 times 4 would make 24. And I can group any 2 together. If I went 3 times 4 first, it'd be 12, and then times the 2 in, still 24. For me, I like to do the second 2 together just because I prefer to multiply 2 things into 3 things. For whatever reason, I make less errors that way. But you could totally do these 2 and then go 3 things into 2 things. Same thing, same answer. So I'm going to bring down the x plus 5, and I'll put these 2 together. So x times x will be x squared, and then plus x on the outside, inside, if we're thinking of it that way, negative 2x, negative 2 to the 1 for negative 2. And then before I FOIL this piece in, I want to collect terms. So then I'll have x plus 5, and then x squared minus x minus 2. So then this, I'm going to FOIL again, except it doesn't spell FOIL. So this is where I like to think of it as distribute. So I'm just going to distribute the x across all 3, and then I'll distribute the 5 across all 3. So x to the x squared would be x cubed, and with the x we'll make minus x squared, and then to the minus 2 for x. And then same thing with the 5. We'll just go 5x squared, 5 there for negative 5x, and then 5 to the negative 2 for negative 10. And then we just have to collect like terms, and we got it. So x cubed has no friends, so it's just all by itself. Negative x squared plus 5x squared, so that would be plus 4x squared. Minus 2x minus 5x, that'll be minus 7x, and then just the minus 10. Okay, this one is just one of those 2x3 ones that we actually did just see. I'll go ahead and do it. So we'll go here to here, here to here, and here to here. So 4x to the x squared would give us 4x cubed times negative 2x for negative 8x squared, and 4x times 5 for 20x. And I'll do the same thing but with the 3. So 3 to the x squared there would be plus 3x squared, 3 times this one, negative 6x, 3 times 5, 15. And then collect the like terms. So it's my only cube. Down 8, and then up 3 would be minus 5x squared. Oh, you know what? I am missing an x right there. So the thing I was saying about check your powers, this went 3, 2, and then it jumped down to nothing. And that did help me catch that I missed an x. So then plus 20x minus 6x should be plus 14x, and then plus 15. And then these next 4 are the ones that would have you guys try. So this is just a basic FOIL, so x times x for x squared, and then times the plus 8 for 8x, and then do the same with the negative 4. So negative 4x and minus 32. So x squared, that'll be 8 minus 4 for 4x, and minus 32. This one, same idea. So 5x times 2x for 10x squared, 5x times 9 for plus 45x, minus 1 times 2x, minus 2x, minus 1 times 9, minus 9. And then right there, I just collect my terms. 10x squared plus 43x and minus 9. Okay, so this next one has just, again, higher powers in it. So x cubed and then x cubed, so that's going to give us 5x to the 6th, x cubed to the minus 4, and then that'll be minus 4x cubed. On the inside, we got negative 1 to this, so that's going to give us negative 5x cubed. Negative 1 times negative 4 for positive 4. And this time we do have some like terms, we have to finish it off by collecting those. And then that'll be minus 9x cubed. Remember, when you're adding, subtracting, it doesn't change this value. It's just going to say minus 4 of those, minus 5 of those. So it just is minus 9 of those. and plus 4. Here's the one again where we want to put two of them together and then do the third one in. So I'm going to bring down the x plus 2, and I'll FOIL out these two. X times x for x squared. If in your head you can see minus 4x plus 3x is going to be minus x, go ahead and jump that step, but if not, go ahead and write out the minus 4x and the plus 3x, and then minus 12. And then make sure though before you do this part, collect these. They'll just take a couple of steps out for you. So minus x minus 12. And I'll just run the x through everything and then run the 2 through everything. So that'll be x cubed minus x squared minus 12x, and then same thing with the 2. So 2x squared minus 2x and minus 24. In like terms, x cubed, so I got minus x squared there, plus 2x squared, so that'll be a plus x squared. Minus 12 minus 2, so that'll be minus 14x, and minus 24. Here's these last couple. This is another one of those 2 by 3 ones. So 2x times x squared for 2x cubed. 2x times the 4x, that'll be all negative 8x squared. 2 times 5, so negative 10x. And then the negative 1, I'm just going to get all this back, but with the opposite sign. So negative x squared, positive 4x, and positive 5. And collect terms. So 2x cubed minus 8 minus 1 more makes minus 9x squareds. Minus 10x plus 4x, that's minus 6x, and then plus 5. And then this last one is 3 things times 3 things. So write small, these get really long, so we're going to have 9 terms when it's all said and done. I'm going to take the 3x squared to everything, and I'll take the negative 2x to everything, and I'll take the 1 to everything. So starting with the 3x squared, this will be 3x to the 4th, and then to the 5x would be plus 15x cubed, and then times that 2 will be plus 6x squared. So 4, 3, 2, got all my powers good. Do the same thing with this negative 2x. So that'll be negative 2x cubed, and then negative 10x squared. Negative 2 times 2, so negative 4x. So 3, 2, 1. And then times 1 is great because that means I just have to write this stuff down. So plus x squared, because nothing's going to change when I multiply by 1. And then collect the like terms. So 3x to the 4th, the cube there and a cube there. So 15 minus 2 leave me 13 x cubed. On squares I have here and here and here. So 6 minus 10 would be minus 4, and back up 1 would be minus 3 x squareds. Linear terms there and there. So down 4, up 5 would be plus x, and then last at plus 2.